What's up, guys? Jason Bentsen here with LoveMoves.Us. Have you ever wondered what foster care looks like through the lens of a child? What is their perspective? And can there be both beauty and pain associated with foster care? I have my friend Nikko here with us today, and he spent some time in foster care, and he's here to share his story and perspective. Thank you for being here, Nikko. I appreciate it. You being willing to share with us today. I want to start off, just give us a little picture of what your family looks like. What's your family dynamic? Who all's in your family?
Basically, I have my mother, I have my oldest sister, she's actually kind of like 30. I have my grandma, and that's basically who lives around like in Illinois. The rest of the other family lives in different states.
Okay.
So we're not really close with them that much. Well, I'm not.
At what age did you go into foster care?
The age I went into was 8,
Okay.
I believe.
All right. And were you in the same home like the whole time you were in foster care?
No, I wasn't in the same home throughout foster care. I moved every like 2 years, I believe.
Did you ever go back home to your mom?
Like
in and out, or did you like?
So basically we were so close. Me and my brother and my sister, we were so close to moving back in her because she was doing all right, and then it just all fell through, and we stayed a little bit longer.
Okay.
So.
And so what age was that possible, when that was looking like you were going to be able to?
That was when I was in like middle school.
Okay.
So
you'd been in foster care for already, 4 years or something like that? You moved a couple of times, different homes, different foster families?
Yes.
Okay. And then I met you, I don't know, maybe a few years ago, something like that. How many homes did you live in? Do you know? Do you remember?
How many homes? I could say about 5 or 6.
5 or 6 different homes?
Well, for me, because I moved more than my sister and my brother.
And so what was that experience like for you in terms of moving each time that happened?
It's low-key kind of scary because you don't know where you're going. It's a new place. You just don't know the person. So it's just kind of weird.
What was it like to try and get used to a new family with, I'm guessing like rules would be different, traditions or culture or, forms of entertainment, things they like to do, tell me a little bit about like what it was like to navigate that.
Well, it's a lot easier when you have your siblings, but most people in foster care don't have their siblings, so it's kind of hard for them. But if you have your siblings, you could just do your own type of traditions. Most of my foster parents made me feel like family, and that was the good thing about it, because I would have never been here today without them. So.
Were you always with your siblings in all the homes you went to?
No, I wasn't. I think it was like 1 or 2 that I wasn't with them.
Okay.
I was by myself for like a good year, and then my sister came, or like I leave somewhere else, and then my sister comes, and then my brother comes.
Okay. Did the families that you were with, did they have other children in the home?
I think the only one I have is the most recent one. My recent parents, Chris and Nikko, they had itty bitty Alex and Kenny when he was there.
Yeah.
I think that was the only time. I think when I was living with my cousin, she was having a baby.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons why we left her.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. Moving around from home to home, I can imagine would be scary. Like you say, like number one, you don't know where you're going. You're going to somebody new, strangers, I would guess most of the time. You said you were with your cousin at one point.
Yeah.
What was the reason for moving so many times?
It was just different type of reasons. It was just because like the foster parents low-key got sick and tired of little kids sometimes, or they just can't handle it. Just because we're not their children and they haven't raised us and we act different, and it's just hard trying to take care of a kid that you didn't have at first. So. Yeah. They can have nasty bad habits. Some
of the behaviors you felt like they just had trouble dealing with, and as you're just trying to be a kid and dealing with what you're dealing with, and you feel like some of those parents had difficulty understanding you?
Yeah, I feel like they just didn't understand sometimes, and it just did. It is what it is. I'm just a kid. I wasn't thinking about it, so
yeah,
I just did me.
Did you ever request to go to a different home?
I did one time. It was just one time me and my foster parent got into an argument, And I was like, we were just getting heated, and I was like, I will leave. And she's like, okay, then leave then. And so then I'm packing my bags, and then I went to the DCFS office and sat there until I went to a different person.
Oh my goodness, wow. How long did you have to stay there? How long did that take?
It took about a few months, because then I went to go live with my sister in the city.
Okay.
So I left during, like, towards Christmas, and then I didn't get into a new home until my freshman year in high school.
Oh wow.
So
You went to the office. They took you to your sister, where your sister was
yeah,
staying.
it was like emergency placement,
Sure.
because like when it comes to like teenagers, most people just don't want teenagers because they have bad habits. Like most teenagers get into like drugs and stuff, and they just do stupid things, and they're just young, so most people just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. What were your bad habits?
My bad habits.
You didn't have any bad habits,
I
did
think
you?
I think my number one bad habit is just laziness.
Okay.
That's what gets me. It's just how lazy I am sometimes. I think that what gets me in trouble.
So like not cleaning up your room or the dishes or
Yeah.
helping out around the house, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just being like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to.
That's what got me in trouble. So I wasn't like doing the same thing other people did. I just did my own thing. I feel like if you're in foster care or anything, you should have a goal, like have goals and stuff, and have something to distract you. I had always sports, me and my sister. So instead of doing drugs or anything, I was always at the basketball court.
Yeah.
Always practicing with friends and everything.
Nice. That's good. That's cool. That's good to hear. Did you play any other sports, or was it just basketball, or?
I think that was the only thing I really did, but I did do cross country and track just because I had friends. Like, I was like friends with high schoolers, so they were older than me. So this one guy got me into cross country, and then I was in love, and then I did track. So then, that's how I got into it.
Okay, all right, that's cool. How do you think other people view foster care? Like people who aren't foster parents, how do you think society or other people view foster care?
I feel like a lot of people believe foster care is like adopting, because I had like a lot of people like, are you adopted? And then people don't know the difference. So I feel like that's how it is.
Did you ever tell people that you were in foster care, or did anybody know that? Did you hear people talking about foster care in certain ways, and how did they talk about it?
I hear a lot of stories about like people almost getting into foster care, and it was like they're glad that never happened and stuff, and I'm like just looking like, whoa, I'm in foster care. So
you said how you think a lot of people kind of associate foster care with adoption.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like what you felt like people perceived kids in foster care. Like, did they have any kind of, certain ideas, myths they believed, stigmas?
I didn't really talk to nobody like that. Like I didn't like express it or like tell people that I was in foster care, just because I just wanted to feel like I was a normal kid, because I don't want to like put that on people.
Yeah.
Just because I just wanted to be normal and do what I have to do. So it's just, I never know what they think about foster care.
Did you ever hear anybody like talking about foster care in certain ways, or kids in foster care in certain ways?
I went to this foster care thing, and I met like a lot of fosters that was in my situation and everything, and they don't think it's like a good thing to be in foster care sometimes. And sometimes it's just hard, because it's a good idea for people to be in foster care, but there's not a good workers. Because they don't I know like some workers have a lot of passion and everything, but some don't, and that's what ruins the DCFS.
Yeah.
Because I had like a number of nasty caseworkers that was just bad. Like I had a caseworker that I was moving into from my cousin's house to a new person's house, Miss Rogers, and Miss Rogers didn't even know. She didn't even say yes for us to come here with her. So when we get there at like 8 o'clock in the morning, ready to move in, Miss Rogers come outside and she's like, "What are they doing here? I didn't say they can come here." And my caseworker is begging for her just to take us.
Oh my goodness.
That's just how it is. And I had like another caseworker that just is like, doesn't do really like good check-ins, and she just like, "Oh, I can see you. All right, you are okay." It doesn't actually talk or anything.
Doesn't talk to you, doesn't find out what you're dealing with, what's going on.
Nope.
And they're supposed to be checking in and finding out that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you like came to know that, obviously, as you probably didn't know that right away, but as you got older, like this is what they're supposed to be doing, right? And they're not doing it.